Join the stars of the Ancient Aliens TV show, Eric Von Doniken, as he returns to Manchester after an amazing response to his last presentation. David Childress will guide you through the evidence left behind. Mike Barrow will take you to other worlds, where Nick Pope will present the real X-Files. Paula Harris will share incredible testimonies. It's time to believe and raise consciousness. Join like-minded souls on Saturday, June 23rd, 2018 for Awakening. What do you believe?
Broadcasting from the UK and across the world online. You're now watching The Moore Show and I'm your host, Kevin Moore. Now for the next hour, I'll be covering subjects that will open up your mind and provide you with information you may have never heard before. Now on today's show, I'm about to be joined by my guest, lecturer, author, coach, Julia Sellers. Now Julia was born in Western Slovakia, former Czechoslovakia, and experienced her first out-of-body experience in 1995. Since that time, she devotes her free time to the study of OBEs. Now she's interested in quantum physics, free energy, near-death experiences, and topics of merging science and religion. Julia has 3 degrees and is fluent in 5 languages, and she has dual American and Slovakia citizenship. She is also the author of I Have Seen It Tomorrow, the extraordinary book that explores out-of-body experiences of Julia's husband, Michael. The English version of the book was published in February 2018, and Julia Sellers joins me on the line today to discuss this and much, much more. Julia Sellers, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
It's nice to have you on, and this kind of fits in with the work that I'm doing right now, so it's kind of interesting. We've just had a quick chat off air just to get the gist of what this interview is going to be about as well. Now, where to start here? Well, if you were to summarize what you want to talk about, how would you summarize that in just a very few words?
Well, basically, I have written my book as a true story of a man who lives out of body. Dr. Atwater, she's an American scientist who studies out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences for quite long, said that Michael is a man who discovered a new aspect to his own being. And that's the ability to leave his body and go elsewhere.
Okay, so you mentioned there about a chap called Michael. So Michael, you're talking about Michael in the third person here, but Michael is your husband, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So Michael is the guy that's been having the out-of-body experiences. And how many years has Michael been having this?
Over 40 years now. He was born with it. Actually, he was born as natural psychic and out-of-body experiencer. And actually, he spends more time out of body than in his physical body. Well, he receives information on different, subjects, events, objects, happenings, or different topics of interest via different means when he's out of body. When you're out of body, when he's out of body or whoever, when I'm out of body, I can feel, smell, touch, see the same as if it was happening in your real physical body, but all senses are much more intense. They are heightened. So basically, sometimes, Michael will get information on certain things by just watching it as a movie playing out in front of him. And it could be in color or black or white. Now, he has been, basically he has his out-of-body experiences fully awake. So basically, certain people are able to be at 2 places at the same time, so to speak. They are fully awake in their body and can function like they're always do, drinking coffee, typing on a computer, whatever. But at the same time, they are out of the physical body, watching something else unfolding, out of body. So, so what's happening basically is that your consciousness is extended or expanded in a greater space time, and it's located at another point or place in time. And basically, you can be, when you're out of body, you can be on a different planet, you can be in a different galaxy, or just a short distance away at a neighbor's house, so to speak. Yeah. So, people who are out of body, fully awake, are able to do whatever they regularly do in their body, say, but they're drinking coffee, and at the same time they are out of body doing something else, which might be, observing whatever they set their mind on to, so to speak. If Michael is interested in, oh, how does it look in Mars? So he gets out of body and check it out. He's seeing water there, he's seeing some lizard there, some, small creatures walking there. So this gets pretty much exciting. Now, the question is, out of body experiences have certain levels to it. The higher your vibrations get, and it has something to do with the resonance. You have the higher you're able to get, right? You have a resonance. It has certain frequency. You got waves that are either longitudinal in their nature or they're transverse. They have certain, frequency, certain amplitude, certain intensity. And the higher in intensity you can get, the further, so to speak, you can get when you're out of your body. Now, you have lucid dreaming, you have astral projection, you have autoscopia, you have autoscopia, you have bilocation, you have doppelganger effects. These are all different levels of out-of-body experiences.
So let's take this back a bit as well, because I just want to get to know a bit about you both as well. Now, you said Michael is a psychic as well?
Yep.
Okay. And now, you guys are based in?
Well, he's in he's in America. Sometimes I'm in America. I'm traveling between America and Slovakia. So right now I'm in Slovakia. Michael is in Washington, D.C.
Now, does Michael do his own interviews, or are you the spokesperson for Michael?
No, I am he basically does not, see, he's not ready to get out of the closet yet, but he is willing to, when he's going to retire soon. So basically he's getting to, to be ready to get out of the closet, but he doesn't speak a lot. Mostly he is just kind of like telepathic, he can interact with you, exchange the thoughts, but he's not a good speaker. He does not like to talk.
How did you guys meet?
Well, it was really, really crazy. I lived in Washington, D.C. in 1993. And back then he was, 18, 19. And we met in Washington, D.C. Shopping mall. And it was funny because he was doing a summer job there. And I was passing through the pizza court or whatever it was, where people get, eat. And I was going to the bathroom. He was working at the ice cream shop there, and he saw me and he recognized my aura. He recognized me by the light I was giving off. And he started to follow me all the way to the bathroom. And then when I was coming out of the bathroom, he was there standing in front of a door, and he asked me, do you like frozen yogurt? And I said, yes, I do. And that was the first time we met. But he said, the funny thing is that he actually, when he was 3 or 4 years old, he was shown his future wife. So he could tell it was me. He knew who I was, right? When we met. I didn't, he did.
And when you say showing,
And
how was he shown? Who
oh,
showed him?
okay. All right. He is in touch with he calls it he calls it the its. The its are beings of plasma. They basically have no physical shape to them. They are something like plasma with a lot of lights in it, changing shape, having different colors, and he can telepathically communicate to them, right? And they showed him when he was born. No, well, not when he was born, because he did not have a memory, but when he got his memory, right? He actually has been in touch with those, whatever, the plasma beings, right? He calls them plasma beings. He calls them the its. And they showed him, the future. They told him why he, was incarnated on the earth, what his mission was, and basically he's in touch with those plasma beings, whatever you want to call them. He calls them the its. So they showed him.
Well, that's interesting because I've been working on a channeling documentary, and many people have many different names for the energy that they're connected to.
Yep. See,
Um,
but the thing is that his entities they're not ETs, right? They have no physical shape to them. They are pure light.
yes,
More or less, they look like blobs, like liquid, like liquid light. And the light is shimmering and it's changing its shape. It has different geometric shapes. But the thing is that he can communicate to them.
and that's what I meant by the channelers that I've interviewed
Yeah.
on the journey that I've been on. They are also, some of them, connected to beings of light as well. Um, so is he in communication with the its now?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's been in touch with them for over 40 years now.
So when you said, because I kind of interrupted you, when you said, when you were going to say that the reason why he can't talk is because,
Well, well, he does not want to come out of the closet because he says that he cannot say certain things that connects our children and the future of the planet. So basically, there's a lot of things that I personally do not know, but I would like to know, right? But he's just ain't telling me. He says it's for, to secure the family and his kids and stuff like that. But I think I have a right to know because I'm the mother of the two kids, and I know that. I mean, there's a lot of things going on that I don't think I can talk about it right now. But I'm pretty flexible to talk about out of body experiences. But when it comes to the other topics that you just ask about, the its and the plasma beings and that kind of stuff that Michael is not ready to talk about, I don't think that I want to talk about it unless you have certain questions
well,
that.
have you, how much time do you spend with Michael when you see him?
Well, what do you mean how much time? I mean, he's
Well,
my husband. I can just tell you, right? I mean, in the morning we wake up, right? He's making a coffee. Just an example. He's making a coffee, and I can tell he's out of body. Okay, I can tell, my parents can tell, my kids can tell, because as soon as he gets out of body, his body movements change, his eyes are kind of half closed. He's kind of like moving like in a robot-like movements. He just sits down and doesn't talk at all, and you can tell because his eyes are like half closed. But what I'm saying, like when we wake up and he's making the coffee, right? And I can tell he's out of body. So I ask him, Michael, who are you observing right now? And he says, sometimes he says, oh, I'm observing Putin, right? He's in a meeting right now, or I'm on Mars, I'm on the moon, and it's just like I'm with him during the day, but I can tell the instances when he leaves the body, he's not there physically. I
Sure.
can tell. I mean, you can tell. I can tell. My parents can. The kids can. And when he's not in the physical body, right? He is elsewhere. I mean, he's just observing things that are of his interest. Sometimes he's taken out of body, and he sees things that he does not even want to see, but he is made to see.
Like the prophets of times before, and like Nostradamus was as well. So hang on. The reason why I said to you, or was going to say there, I was trying to say how much time do you spend with him, because I couldn't quite understand in my tiny brain, was that you say that you're not with him right now. You're in sorry, where are you again? You are in what part?
Slovakia.
Slovakia. Yeah. So you're in Slovakia, and Michael is in America. So, but you are not together right now.
Yeah.
No.
Right, not right now. I mean, we are. I mean, what do you mean we're not together?
Well. So you're married.
When I'm in America, I'm with him. When he's in Slovakia, I'm with him.
Right.
I mean, I'm keeping the diary, right, of his out of body experiences for over 25 years.
So you've known him for 25 years. So what does Michael do for a day job then?
Well, he works for he's a website manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not with you right now. He's back in America.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got kids together, and you'll be off to go see him sometime soon. Now, when
I just was there for 4 months. So I just and he's coming in a couple of months. But before I moved from America to Slovakia, I mean, we lived together, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So what does the family, the kids, think of what Dad does with this ability as well?
Well, the older son, I mean, he pretty much, see, you have to understand that both my kids have out-of-body experiences too. My daughter is 6, my son is 17, and they both have out-of-body experiences. So it's kind of run in a family, right? And there is a purpose to it. And I had to learn how to live with it, when it started to happen to me back in 1995. Again, I was not meditating. I was not taking no drugs. I was not a pathological case. I was perfectly healthy, and I started to get out of body naturally, spontaneously. So, it's...
And this was when you was with Michael?
Yes.
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 Now, when you're with Michael as well, are you able to speak to the its? Have you had chance in all these years to have an interview and speak to the plasma beings?
No, I do not. I do not. I have different. I myself have different downloads that I am downloading into my system, into my body. I call it direct vibrational cognition. It's when I'm interested in something, in a topic, a scientific topic or something, I just ask, and I just sit down on the computer, close my eyes, and I start writing, right? And I have the answer ready. And so I do that kind of stuff. I do automatic writing.
Yeah, that's a form of
like
channeling. That's a form of channeling in a sense.
It is, yeah.
But you've never said, right, Michael, sit down with me for 10 minutes. I want to speak to the its. I want to speak to the sphere beings. Sorry, the beings of, the sphere beings, the plasma beings. Sorry, I want to speak to the plasma beings, and I've got a few questions I want to ask them. You've never had any interest to do that?
I did. I have done that. Yeah, I have done that. I've done that, and he answered and he he answered my questions, actually.
Right.
He did.
Is that a form of channeling when he does that as well, or
No,
is
that's not channeling. It's not channeling at all. It's there's a difference between channeling and between direct vibrational cognition. And I explained to you, when you channel, you get information in the form of electromagnetic waves. Now, electromagnetic wave is an oscillation that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But direct vibrational cognition, you get information via vibrations, and vibrations are longitudinal waves, right? They're not oscillation. The longitudinal compressional acoustic waves are going from the center, and they are pulsing into the right and the left, and they're not vertical like electromagnetic waves. They are horizontal, right? And it's two different things. When I'm getting my downloads, I'm getting it via vibrations, which is horizontal longitudinal waves. Now, channeling is strictly done by oscillations, and oscillations are electromagnetic waves, which are up and down, so they are vertical in nature, and it's two different things, very
okay?
much different.
So you seem to know quite a bit about what you're talking about. Okay, what do you do as a day job? What is your background?
My background is I okay, I my first university was in the ex-USSR, okay? I was sent by the Czechoslovak government to study to the ex-USSR, and I studied physiopathology, right? Then I went to study law, journalism, management, Russian area studies, international politics. And so I'm kind of like, I attended like 9 universities, and I've been through 3 or 4 universities. I studied translation, interpretation. So it's a mixture of things. But really, I've been to the politics too. But really, I started to get into the stuff of out of body experiences or paranormal or psi or quantum physics when I started to have my out of body experiences. So I'm talking about something that I have been through firsthand. It's my firsthand experience. And also my book only provides firsthand experience and Michael's experience, so as
And your book
narrated
is
by him. So I didn't get nothing off the internet. I did
sure.
not get any information from different scientists. I mean, all I'm saying is that my book only, okay, talks about firsthand information or Michael's information,
Sure,
right?
sure,
Which, yeah.
absolutely. And what is it you do right now? What do you do now? What's your
Right
main?
now,
Yeah.
right now, I'm lecturing on out of body experiences in the Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Okay.
I have my workshops every month, and I just released the book in English. I have one book in Slovak release. And so what I'm doing is that I'm retired, right? But I am taking care of my workshops on out of body experiences.
Perfect. Perfect. No, and
Yeah.
absolutely. I just wanted a bit of background on you because I'm like, well, who is this person? What is this about? Which angle are you coming from? And that makes a lot of sense. And your book, which is coming on the screen now as well, is I Have Seen It Tomorrow, which we're just about to get into as well. And okay, well, let's actually ask you about the book as well. I Have Seen It Tomorrow. Why did you title that book that name?
Well, basically, the thing is that, and this is really crazy. Well, Michael, when he is out of body, right? Let's say that he wakes up in the morning and he goes out of body. Now, he will be out of body, right? And he would experience the tomorrow. He would go through whatever is going to happen tomorrow, but he would do it in this day. Like today is Friday, right? He will get out of body and he will get into the future, into one day ahead. So he would go through what he will do in physical body on Saturday. Are you with me? But he will get out of body on Friday. He would experience his whatever he's going to experience on Saturday, and he would do it out of body one day prior. And it's really crazy because sometimes, right, we would wake up in the morning, right? And I would tell him, Michael, tomorrow my mother invited us for lunch. And he would tell me, oh, great, I already have eaten the lunch out of body. Are you with me? So he would know what my mother is going to cook tomorrow. He would eat it out of body. And the funny thing is that when he's out of body and eating the lunch, right, he would feel or he would experience the same feeling as if he ate it in the physical form, right? So that's why I chose to, call it. I have seen it tomorrow because sometimes when I talk with Michael, he would be talking to me about things that have not happened yet. Okay. And he would be telling me these things. And I'm like, Michael, wait a minute. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you sure you have not seen it out of body? And then he goes, oh, maybe. Yeah. Because when he started to talk to me about something that I have no clue what he's talking about, I know exactly that he is talking about something he has seen in the future. Are you with me? But he has seen it out of body.
That's
so
incredible.
It's kind of, yeah.
That's incredible. Now, if we live in a multi-dimensional reality, which has been my truth since I started doing the documentary They Call Us Channels, my truth is since interviewing 45 plus people, and there's many more to interview yet because it's becoming a docu-series, that our consciousness is always shifting dimensionally all the time as we create our reality. And choose new paths of our reality. We shift consciously to different realities, different Earths. Now, would you say that we live in a multi-dimensional universe?
Well, I would not say that I know that. I
Yes.
know that we do. But the thing is that, you know, all depends on the vibration that you vibrate at. Now, if you are able to vibrate at, let's say that we live in a 3D, right? Now, if you are able to, if your consciousness is able to vibrate, let's say at 4 or 5D, then you realize that you start to see things that people whose consciousness is in 3D are not able to see. Everything is about angular rotation spin of subatomic particles, right? Now, the subatomic particles spin around they're spinning under certain angle. Now, if the angle is changed, right? You know what is changed with the angle? The amount of ether that is getting into the material world. And the funny thing is that you as a human being have the ability with your feelings and emotions to change the angle of the angular rotation spin of subatomic particles. And when you do that, you at the same time are able to compromise gravity, compromise electromagnetic forces, magnetism, and stuff like that. That's how you get levitation, right? You kill gravity. How do you do that? You apply your own feelings and emotions, which are in quantum physics, they are longitudinal compressional acoustic waves, right? Which are able to change the angular rotation of subatomic particle spins. And that's what it's all about, right? So some people are able to do that. They get higher. Their consciousness will go, I call it accretion of a consciousness, expansion, right? Accretion of a consciousness. They get much higher. And once they are able to do that, they see things that regular people are not able to see. And that's what, when Michael, okay, Michael sometimes gets higher, his consciousness, so let's say it's in D6, and he see all kinds of things that I'm not able to see. He sees extraterrestrial, he sees ETs all the time. He says he is in touch with over 200 different kinds of ETs. He's not in touch with them, but he sees them. They're not approaching him. He is not approaching them, but he does sees them.
Because in
Okay,
the
they are
same
there.
space,
What?
he's in
What?
the same space, he's entering a different dimensional reality in this same
Yeah.
space. So in the
Yeah,
space that I'm sat in right now, if I could change my frequency like a radio does, I would see
Yes.
different things in this space occupying the same space. Maybe a different family is living here, or this.
Bingo. That's what it is. Exactly. That's what it is.
So is
Yes.
that heaven on earth then? Is heaven on earth already in a different dimension?
Definitely. Yes, it is. Definitely. People just don't know how to raise their vibrations. That's the problem.
So when we speak of moving conscious, moving dimensions, it's not the body that's moving; it's the consciousness in our brain. We are consciousness, but it's not the
Yes.
physical that's moving; it's the consciousness. Yeah.
We are. And as a matter of fact, your consciousness not only resides in your brain, it resides all through your body. It's in each cell. It's in your feet. It's in your toes. It's everywhere. It's not the brain, actually. It's the whole body. The consciousness is spread throughout the whole body. And it's about the consciousness. You raise the vibrations of the consciousness. Your holographic. The universe is a holograph, but you have 3D holograph, you have 4D holograph, you have 3D. Yeah. You have the holographs are attached to every dimensions, and they are different. Like, it's funny because now I am looking at I have an apple in front of me right now. I am in my 3D dimension, and I see apple, physical red apple. Now, if I'm able to raise my vibrations, I look at the apple, but I see the apple in a different form as soon as I get higher in vibrations. So I'm not seeing an apple anymore, but I do see I see a round circle with a lot of light sparkling in it. If I go even higher, okay, then I see not a circle, but I see the shape kind of like moving and changing its the shape is being changed to triangle, hexagon, whatever, right? So what I'm saying is that apple in 3D is something else in 4D, and yet something else in 5D
and beyond
6D.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
And these Ds are just, these are just representations of higher conscious, of different realities, of different multidimensional universes.
Yes.
Right. So really the if say there's a billion, it's unconceivable in my tiny brain, but say there's more than a billion different multidimensional universes, right? And,
yes, there are, yeah.
And probably more, right?
Yeah.
And that's so what we're saying is they're contained within our universe, within this known universe. If you could wherever you could end up in this known universe, if you could travel it, if you could switch dimensional realities, you would see then a different looking universe because you've switched. Yeah.
Yes,
and
definitely.
that's where these ETs are coming from as well. They're dimensional beings. They're interdimensional, not from our universe. Because if I went out to outer space now, which I'm not going to, and I can't prove any of this, right? There may be nothing out there. There literally may be not much life out there. But actually, if we could shift our dimensional frequency and go to a different dimension in the same space, it'd be packed.
Exactly. But the funny thing is that you don't have to go anywhere. You just sit in your living room and you just switch the vibration. You just switch the angular rotation of the particles.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
That's a very tough question. Very tough. I'll tell you, there are you can use drugs and do that, right? You can use certain types of meditation and do that. Now, you can use a contemplation, and it's really funny because you have so many monks and nuns who were who literally, when they were undergoing their contemplations, they started to levitate and they started to radiate light. There was light around them, right? So what I'm saying is that you can raise your vibrations. There's many, many different techniques, meditations, but what I'm saying is that Michael does not use any of this, and he has that naturally. And the funny thing is that he wants to stay grounded in the body. He would pay a lot of money to someone who would teach him how to stay grounded. He just cannot stay grounded, right? Now you have all the workshops, especially in America, that they would tell you, oh, we can teach you how to get out of body in 3 days. Michael would like to get grounded. He does not want to have his out of body experiences happening at all. He did not call for them. He did not look for them. It just started to happen ever since he was a child. And actually, it gave him a lot of hard time when he was a child because, his friends could tell, oh, he's different. The teachers could tell, oh, he's different. It's kind of like he was diagnosed dyslexic. He was diagnosed, he has dyslexia, this, whatever you have, all the dyscalculia, dyslexia. It's just because he was out of body. But back in the 70s, they did not know what was happening to him. But so they looked at him like, oh, he's weird because he's never around. But so that's why he suffered a lot as a child, and he would love to be grounded, but he doesn't know how to do that.
Do you think if he had a past life regression, do you think it may show that the reason he's not grounded is because of self-love issues? That actually, karmically, he's here to learn self-love, and getting ungrounded is one way of escaping having to learn self-love.
I know what you're talking about, but with him, it's a little bit different because he remembers when he was incarnating. He remembers when he has been through the so-called conscious birth. Have you heard about conscious? He remembers when his mother was giving him birth. He remembers his prenatal stage. He remembers being in his mother's uterus. He remembers, that might sound wild, but he remembers when let's call it the soul, when his soul flew into his mother's uterus. He remembers that. He knows why he came, who sent him, and what his mission is. So, he has a mission on the planet.
What's his mission?
That's something that I don't think I'm at liberty to talk about. I know what it is. He told me, and I was not happy about it. It concerns my children too, and it's just that I think that I would like to talk about it in the future,
sure.
But I do not have his permission to talk about it because he thinks it's kind of like infringement of his privacy. So I want to respect that.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it, but
absolutely. But this is fascinating. Would Michael know? Would Michael listen back to this interview? Does he know we're doing this interview?
No, he doesn't. The thing is that he kind of like, he's out of body all the time. And to him, like, oh, Julia is having an interview. To him, it's not important. For him, he is taking care of his business and more important things that I know what they are. But again, at this point, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm pretty sure I will be talking about it in the future.
Would Michael do an interview in the future when he's ready?
Oh yeah, he oh definitely.
Okay.
Oh, he would, and I give it a year or something. I'm preparing him for that.
Okay. No, this is fascinating, right? This is absolutely No, okay, I know we're running out of time here and people are going to score me for this interview of not asking the right questions just right now, but,
Yeah.
we had nothing planned for this interview. I didn't know what any of this was about, and this is just absolutely fascinating. Because, this was a last minute thing, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
approached
yeah,
me,
yeah.
just a few days ago, and I was like, okay, let's just do it, whatever this is going to be. So, now, when you say he goes into the future, he's going into future moments all the time.
Yeah.
If we live in a multidimensional reality, then we're going into potential futures because, for example, when a psychic or medium gives us a reading or a channeler gives us a reading, they're only giving
Yeah.
us a reading on the potential that if we
Yeah.
continue on this course and we
Yeah.
don't change a thing about it, that's where we're heading. But guess what? You are a creator, you are a god, you are a master
Yeah.
manifester,
Yeah.
and you choose and create your reality. That's how powerful you are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is he going into exactly the same scenarios as what he sees, or are there differences?
Differences, very much differences. Thanks for asking the questions. I know exactly what you're talking about. See, the thing is that your future is not stable, right? Now you can you can change your future if you change your, guess what? Not thoughts, not emotions, your feelings. If you are able to change your feelings, you are able to change your future. Guess what? Feelings are longitudinal vibrations. Now, emotions are oscillations. They are electromagnetic transfers of the oscillational waves. Now, thoughts are electromagnetic waves too. Now, if you get into the heart, you have to get into the feelings in order to be able to change your emotions and thoughts. So, what I'm saying is that feelings are the root, the base. Out of the feelings, emotions will arise. Out of the emotions, thoughts will arise. So, if you are able to work with your feelings, which are in your heart, you are able to change your future. Now, saying that, and it's funny, sometimes. Okay, now, as I said, I kept my diary for over 20 years, right? Now, Michael said something to me, let's say back in 1998. I put it down. I will ask him the same question in 2 or 3 years, right? And he would tell me different reply. And I said, I will confront them. And I said, Michael, look, this is the date back in 1998. I asked you the question on this very same date. You said something else. And he will tell me, oh, okay, if I did say that, it means that the future had changed, and he would give me a different reply. Now, the funny thing is that as soon as he gives me a different reply, he has no recollection of giving me the first reply in the first place. So whatever he say in 1988 is erased out of his memory. He only knows the second reply, the newest reply, the reply that connects to the new future. Does that make sense to?
Much like the Mandela effect that people are talking about.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, yeah, but the thing is that certain things you cannot change in the future. Certain things are just set in the stones. But certain things you are able to change. And it's funny because I said, Michael, I mean, you just gave me three different replies. In 1998 you said this, in 2000 you said that, in 2001 you said, and he says, okay, just trust me. Trust me, the future has changed. And whatever I said back, he says, I'm sorry, I have no recollection of that.
How much do our past and future lives as well affect our current incarnation? Because if all lives are affecting each other as well, aren't they? In what's going on? I mean, there's also something I come across as well in my documentary, which was called the ripple effect, where where a decision that's
Yeah. See, the thing is that, and you might think that this is crazy, but there is no past, future. Okay, there's no past. Everything happens now. There is only now happening. And it's funny because if you change your feelings and vibrations and just the way you feel right now, guess what? You are affecting not only your future, you are affecting your past, but the potential past. Okay, past and future are connected through the now moment. So based no, no, what I'm saying is that I know it's very hard to even to put your mind onto it. But what I'm saying is that there is no past, there is no future. The past and future are connected via the present moment. So if you change your feelings in the present certain way, you can at the same time affect your past and your future as well. And it's crazy because everyone talks about past lives, right? Now guess what? There are no past lives. Everything is happening right now. So what people see at past lives actually is happening right now, because you as the self, as the being, you have multiple parallel beings to yourself, and one of the being is the past. You look at it as the past, but in reality it's
now.
happening right
It's now.
now.
So what I'm saying is, so your past life, which is the now life, is
Yes,
affecting this life, which is the
yes,
now life, because your soul has
yes,
split to an infinite number of possibilities.
yes,
I mean, we're
yes.
infinite. Yeah. But then that information about the ripple effect still came into the channeling documentary, which has not been released yet. That actually, if something wants to happen that so badly wants to happen in the future, it will ripple into the now life.
Yeah, it will happen, but guess what? The thing is that um, e- each individual is born or incarnated with their own imprint, okay, energetic imprint. Now the imprint says certain things about you. It says that this will happen to you, and only this will happen to you, and you cannot go beyond the borders of the energetic imprint. And if you want something to happen badly, you can violate your own energetic imprint with which you were incarnated on this planet. You cannot do that. You have to stay within the borders of your energetic imprint, which you brought with you when you incarnated. And these are the violations, these are the karmic violations. If you press too much, if you want something happen very badly, guess what? It will. But the other thing is that by you wanting it so much, you will actually affect the imprint that you were born with. The energetic imprint has certain borders. It has north, south, east, and west. And if you want to do something badly in your life, you can go over the border. You can cross the border. And that's the karma. You're creating yourself that karma because you have to stay within the border. That's your free will. But if you violate your free will and you cross the imprint you were born with as an incarnate, right? You are creating
But who created the border for you in the first place?
the border is being created by your family life. Okay, your parents, your grandparents, grandparents, they behave certain way during their lives. They did certain bad things or they did certain good things. And you, when you were born, okay, you transformed into your blood, into your energetic body or energetic signature. You transform a lot of information from your parents, grandparents, grand. Guess what? Until the 11th lines, it goes all the way 1,000 years in the past, and you have everything in your system. You have it in your blood, in your hormones, in your energetic signature. That's who created your karma, right? And you have to be very careful. That's the family karma, right? So you have to stay within the limits. And we are, each of us are just individual. We have different limits. What I can do, you cannot do, right? What you cannot do, the other cannot do. And this is really, and that's why I'm saying, I even said it during my workshops, people, do not wish for anything. Do not push for anything. Do not use intense feelings because they can they can just carry you over the border, over the energetic signature, which is your individual signature, and you have to just stay in the border. That's why it's great
So are you
if you just
saying?
do not wish for anything.
So are you saying have we have a sense of what you want to do or what you want to achieve, but
Yeah.
have no attachments to it?
Exactly. I call it, and it's funny. I mean, it sounds crazy. I call it the, this, and I call it engage, disattachment. Engaged disattachment. So basically, you are engaging, but you cannot be you cannot attach to things. As soon as you attach to thing and you wanna you strive for something very badly, don't do that, because you are getting over the border of your of the imprint that was meant only for you. So you have, if you want to stay in the border, do not wish for
Where
anything.
where
Do not.
where are you getting your information from?
I'm downloading it from the from my system. I just
Right.
close my eyes and I'm getting automatic answers, replies.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. And thank you, by the way. And we're covering all sorts here just right now. But just getting back to Michael, then. I mean,
Yeah.
how many times when we wake up in the morning have we shifted to a different reality to that which we were before the night when we went to bed?
you know with him, it's very much different. You can't compare it with him, because I'll tell you, he's at work, right? He's at work and he's just typing on the computer, and his boss comes and says, Michael, just give me this report. And Michael would give him the report, but prior dating it, he calls me and he asks, Julia, what year are we in? Do you understand what I'm talking about? He's constantly shifting. He lives in 2025, 2010, 2030, 40. I mean, he doesn't know the year. You know what I'm saying? So with him, it's really different. Now, with regular people, of course, when you're sleeping, right, at night, of course you're shifting realities, right? Now it's all about whether or not you are able to watch your own dreams. That's what lucidity is about. It's called lucid dreams. When you are watching your own dreams, you're in a different reality, but you can watch your own. You know that you are dreaming. You kind of like wake up in the middle of the dream, and you just watch your dream. Not only you watch your dream, you can direct your dream. You can say, I go straight, I go back, I want to meet this guy, I want to meet that girl. You just create your own dream like a movie. That's what lucid dreaming is about. Higher version is astral dimension, astral travel. Even higher version is out of body experience. Now, sometimes you get bilocated, so it means that your body is here and there at the same time. There's a couple of saints that were able to do that. It's Father Pio, it's the Italian guy, right, that used to bilocate, and he was pronounced sane. So what I'm saying is that it really is different with different individuals. It's all about how, whether or not you're able to shift to higher vibrations, and resonance is what helps. Resonance is great stuff. You can get higher resonance by different techniques, by different acoustic techniques. You have the binaural beats, that you have some frequency to be put into your right ears. Now from the left ears, you're listening to different frequency, and the two different frequencies meet in the middle of your brain, and it can get you out of body, and you can experience the pig experience, or whatever it's called, the bliss, the ecstasy, whatever. But what I'm saying is that Michael is not doing any of this. He never asked for out of body experiences. He never asked for being out of body. He never practiced it. He's not trained for that, and it has been happening to him since he was born. And I know why. He knows why, and it's just crazy. It really is crazy.
So what is 2040 like, for example?
Well, I would need to ask him, but I know he told me some of the things. Like he says, in the future, people would be able to change the wall colors, right, by clicking on a button. Okay, so you click on a button, and the colors of the walls in your house or in your apartment would change. Also, he says that in the future, there would be certain, for people who are overweight, right, that they would drink something, like it looks like water, but there was something, mixed in the water, that they would drink the water, and it would give them the feeling like they're full, like they're just eaten, and you would have certain flavors, like you drink, like let's say the red drink, and it will give you a feeling like you ate pizza. You go ahead and drink the blue drink, it will give you a feeling like you ate a cake or sweets. So he's seen a number of things happening in the future. He's seen He's seen some towns or cities being built in outer space, right? He's seen people moving off the Earth to the cities built in the space, and he's seen some wild things happen in the future.
So was there any sort of major conflicts then? It doesn't sound like it. There wasn't sort of like the extinction of mankind through a global war.
Well, I remember he told me once that the coast would look very much different, that the people in the east, both the east and west coast, I don't think I should say that because I don't want to, cause a whatever, but the coast in the United States of America, both east and west, would look totally different.
Is that from war, or is that from maybe a global?
No, from floods and
floods,
and it would be underwater and yeah.
Well, that wouldn't just be America then. There'd be other parts of Europe that would be affected.
Yes.
By that.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But this again is potential futures on potential timelines where we can make changes where this doesn't happen anyway. But this is just potential futures.
It is potential, but from what I understand is that people would not be able to make it because you need certain percentage of certain vibrations that would save the planet, and it ain't gonna happen in the future because you ain't gonna get the percentage of the people that would have to change their feeling, thinking, emotions in order to save the planet. That's my understanding.
So as we raise our vibration and come from more from love for ourselves, which is automatic
Yeah,
love for other people, what we will be doing is be creating a different vibration spiritually, frequency-wise, which would
ex-
also take us onto a different direction of actually
exactly,
saving
because
ourselves.
yeah, because love, you say love, but love is energy, and energy is waves, and love has really, when you look at it from a point of quantum physics, it's really different kind of waves to what we used to. Love is a resonant, cyclical, non-Hertzian, non-linear wave that is similar to scalar standing waves, actually similar to Tesla was talking about, right? It's a scalar wave that is a potential wave that kind of like has nothing to do with electromagnetic waves. It's a mixture of sound and light. I know it sounds crazy, but the scalar standing wave can go on and on and on like perpetuum mobile, right? Like the time machine. It's cyclical, and it goes in a cycle on and on and on, and it's being fueled by resonance, and love as the resonance. And basically, my theory is that when you put all the forces together, gravity, electromagnetic the force, and the stronger, weak force, you put it all together, you come up with the love, the resonance. Resonance or love is a special, standing,
Right,
non-Hertzian
right.
wave that really is just great. I mean, love saves the world, and it's not just that I say that. It's
But
there's some real quantum physics going
but
on behind love, so to speak.
but you feel that, potentially, just potentially, that we may not all have awakened to that higher aspect of love within us, which could actually save the planet, because we would be more loving towards the planet as well in the actions that we do. Um, by coming together, we're all trying to come from oneness,
Yeah,
from
yeah,
mankind.
yeah.
We're therefore progressing not just ourselves but our future. But you don't feel that in your lifetime you're going to see that, or is
No,
that?
no, definitely not.
But but
Not in my lifetime,
but
not in my kids' lifetime. I don't see it coming at all because
is that the dimensional reality that you're in? What if someone else listens to this, because it's going to say to themselves, you know what, I'm going to switch my dimensional reality, and I'm not staying in this dimensional reality. I'm going to one where that does not happen, and I'm in a different reality to this conversation.
yeah, but then the thing is that you said that you're not gonna see that, but you have to understand that you can switch to a different reality, dimensional reality, and you don't have your physical body there, right? So you're just there out of body, or you're just there, your consciousness is there and see different things happening. But when we talk about something happening on the earth physically, we're talking about physical three-dimensional bodies, and I don't think that's happening in the future. I just think that
Do you, well, do you think if do you think that our consciousness can jump from this parallel dimension to another parallel Earth, that's on a different vibration? Can we shift our consciousness to a different vibration where we can take this consciousness and put it into another body on another dimensional reality, or are we stuck on this shared virtual reality that we're in now? Are we stuck on this dimensional reality, all of us?
not all of us. I mean, you can do that. You can shift. Again, it's all about your feelings, how you feel, your positive thinking, your emotions, your feelings. You can slide to different dimensional realities.
So
Uh,
what I'm saying is the dimensional reality that you've just explained that you see the future as, could someone slide to one that's more positive than that?
yes, definitely. Yes, they can. But what I'm saying is that you're not bringing your physical body there. You just shift the consciousness.
Yeah,
But
but
what
is
about
it?
your physical?
But is it?
Yeah.
Isn't your physical? Isn't there a physical body awaiting you on a different parallel dimension?
No, There's no no.
Isn't there multiple versions of this same timeline happening in different realities?
Yes.
Well, then there must be another version of my body in multiple different dimensions.
That's what just let me finish. Yeah, you have a different body there. You don't have 3D body. You have light body, spiritual body, mind body. I mean, you have the physical body has, at least from what I've seen and from downloaded to my system, you have at least 12. I mean, 11 bodies. The 12th is your physical bodies, but in between, it's like an onion. When you peel the onion off, right, it's very similar. So you have those different bodies, right? But what I'm saying is that wouldn't it be nice if you can take your physical body, right, to a different reality?
This is my point. That's what I'm trying to understand with you, right?
It is possible. But
is there other Julia? Is there another Kevin Moores and Julias in different parallel dimensions?
Not. Yes, they are, but not in physical body, because the time frame, right, or the time matrix, right, has only certain dimensions. To my knowledge, the time matrix has 12 main dimensions. 12 main dimensions, and 12 these are matter dimensions, and 12 antimatter dimensions. So what I'm saying is that dimension 1, 2, 3 is our physical body. As soon as you get to D4, there's astral plane, astral bodies, which is not physical. You go higher, it's semi-physical. You go even higher, it's there's ether. You go even higher, and there's like liquid light. And then when you go even higher from liquid light, there's nothing but
would you be surprised if there was other dimensions, more than 12, but hundreds of thousands to billions or millions of dimensions, where me and you are having the same conversation in the same timeline, but in a different way, and it just goes on and on and on. Physical bodies having this. I mean, me and you in different, and the same for all our past lives and future lives. Billions of different versions of us out there having different realities.
Well, my understanding is that time matrix has only certain kinds of dimension. Okay, what I'm saying is that there's 12 main matter dimensions, 12 antimatter dimensions, and there are plus like 3 or 6 plus dimensions that has nothing to do with time matrix, but they're more like plasma or energy, pure energy matrices, right? Now, for our system, our galaxy, or our Milky Way, this is what I think is happening. I'm not saying that you are right. There's thousands of other dimensions, but I'm talking about galaxies. I'm talking about our Milky Way galaxy time matrix. I'm seeing 12 matter dimensions, 12 antimatter dimensions, which is already 24, and plus there's like 3 or 6 pure energy matrices. But this is only for Milky Way, and I know there's thousands of other galaxies, but what's happening there and how the dimensions are built there, I don't know that, but I know they do exist. I'm just talking about our time matrix Milky Way.
So you think so you would say that there's only one body for Julia in this timeline right now? There's not other timelines where Julia's having the same existence?
No. There are. Now, what I'm saying is, and this is, okay, so listen. The way it was shown to me is that we have 12 main matter dimensions. But guess what? Each dimensions, D1, D2, D3, D4, has their own 12 under dimensions, which together would make 145 dimensions, right? You have 12 main dimensions, but each dimension has 12. It's like fractal. Have you heard of fractals? It's similar to fractals. So altogether, you would have 144 dimensions. And to my knowledge, 144 as a magical number, because it even appears in the Bible, 144,000. So what I'm saying is that like Michael, when Michael gets to higher dimensions, he can see himself, right? Living in Egypt, living in, I mean, building pyramids, which he did see himself building pyramids. He can see himself living in Belarus, the Ukraine, Egypt, living now in America, in the future, living in another body. So this is where it gets crazy, because the past and future is connected via the eternal now. Only now is eternal, and it's eternal because you are able to change the now with your own feelings. Your feelings are special kind of waves. It's the love waves. It's the scalar energy that is able to compromise gravity, electromagnetic forces, even strong or weak forces within your nucleus, within your atom.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing what you have so far. I mean, it's pretty deep stuff. But what if the idea that, on this documentary, I've got to interview people, channelers as well, where,
Yeah.
I've got to get into the conversations that we get to relive this life as well. This isn't the only time that we get to live this same timeline. If we wanted to
Yeah.
come back and do it again for certain reasons, if we didn't complete what we wanted to complete, we can
Yeah.
come back and live this life again, this same life, not just past or future, but this same life.
Yeah. It is possible. I think it's possible, and it's perfectly logical to me, because when I say that there's no past or future, right? So in the future, you can come back to your past, but it's not the past, it's the eternal now. Everything is happening right now. I know it's crazy to be able to conceive, but if you can imagine that you see yourself in your body right now, but you're able to shift to the right, to the left, and in front of you, behind you, and see all other lives that supposedly happen in the past or in the future, they are happening in the now. And that's the thing that people cannot grasp, because we have our linear way of thinking of, time passing. We think linearly. We think like past, future, and that's what's hard for people to. But again, I know that Michael is going through this all the time, and sometimes he's getting confused, because like on Friday, he spends all day long in 2025. On Saturday, he spends all day long in whatever 1100. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting confused, because sometimes he loses the track, and he asks me, Julie, how do I know that the life that I lead right now is the now? And I said, well, because you have me, you have the kids. And he says, well, I have different kids, different wives in the past. But the thing is that he can feel the life or experience the life the same as he can today's life. That's what's crazy. That's what makes him crazy, because he lives a number of lives, so to speak.
Well, this has been an absolutely amazing interview, and I really appreciate you letting me sort of have this debate with you, and I really like what you're having to say. It's absolutely fascinating, and I know there's so much more that we could touch upon about what Michael's seeing right now as well, and I think I'd have to get you back on, or maybe doing an in-person interview
Yeah.
to carry this forward. What would be your most important message you'd like to give right now as well?
Wow. It's I think that it would be that, people, hey, people, I mean, realize that all which really is real is love. Love is an omnipresent vibration that cannot be gotten rid of. Everything else can. You can get rid of money. You can die. You can, get rid of anything else. But what stays around forever is love. Love is the feeling that empowers you, that gets you going. It's energy which was there and which was not created but still is there. It's something which runs our life, and not that many people realize that, because when you say love, it sounds so profound, like what about love? But behind love there's certain type of energy, and this is the energy that some people call God, some people call, universal mind, universal intelligence, universal logos. But it's the love that saves you people. It really is. And I learned that hard way, and I learned my lessons, and I know what I'm talking about. So pay attention to love, and love is it's energy that is able to save you. Really, trust me.
Absolutely. And your website is?
www dot juliasellers.com.
Okay, wonderful. Well, look, Julia, just thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been really a nice, I just had a great talk with you, Kevin, and I hope that we can do more in the future.
Most definitely. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks for having me again. Thank you. Bye.